Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso at thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we have a watch launched in 2022 in the spring, back in March, at what Omega called Omega Watch Days. Yes, we're all coping in the post-Bezel era, but the quality of the product is unimpeachable because this is the Omega Speedmaster Professional Moonwatch Moonshine Gold. A lot going on there. Let's unpack that name, but let's start with the dimensions. In Moonshine Yellow Gold, this watch is 42 millimeters in diameter. It's a sapphire sandwich, so sapphire top, sapphire case back. 13.4 millimeters thick as I measure it, 47.5 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. On my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, I've always found that the strap-clad Moonwatches wear better because the solid end link bracelets project out beyond my wrist. On a strap, you could wear a Moonwatch on a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. It would look a little bit large, but this is an instrument-style watch, and a bit large is not a bad thing for a timepiece designed to be seen in a functional sense. It is not thick. It's actually thinner than other Moonwatch models, but you can see there's a cantilever to the bezel such that it will get hung up on the tightest of dress shirts, but you should be okay with jacket sleeves. Now, because it doesn't have a solid end link bracelet, it does not project beyond my wrist. That's why I say you can go a little bit smaller when you're wearing a Moonwatch on a strap, and it becomes easier and easier as the strap breaks in. This is a lovely strap. Olive green, matte finish. There is some bolstering or stuffing to give it volume. There's a monotone stitch. There's a folded edge. On the back, black calfskin. You can see this is a brand new Omega factory strap. No crimping, no gouging. And it's equipped with a lush and lovely matching Moonshine Yellow Gold clasp. Now, this is a familiar design. It's been around since the early 2000s, but it lasts because it has merits. Twin trigger release, so it can't pop open inadvertently. You have to press both. You can see externally it's satinated and polished for a handsome contrast. Inside, satination and engine turning. You take the strap, you tuck it in, it tucks under these two lips or tabs, and then you pin it on the pin. And as a result, once it's sized down, all the excess length hides under the clasp body and the strap, so there's no need for minder loops. And if you're wondering what those are, these are minder loops. Now, back to the watch. Moonshine Gold. We need to talk about Moonshine Gold. First seen in 2019, the 50th year of the Apollo 11 legacy. Moonshine is yellow gold that is paler, and on the original Moonshine Gold special editions for 2019, it was used as an accenting color. Here, it dominates the case and the dial. So it's still 75% yellow gold, because after all, it has to be 18 karat, but it's a paler yellow gold. It features a 14.5% silver, 9% copper, and 1% palladium, with the result that it almost looks like a vintage 9 or 14 karat. It's a very cool and cool look. I mean, it's cool, and it is cool as in chili. It's a homonym. What else is going on? Well, we have a fantastic combination of a ceramic bezel insert and a PVD green dial. So, the PVD green dial allows a more consistent layering of color, and you can see that this is upscale compared to a standard Moonwatch because rather than printed features, we have yellow gold applique indices and an Omega logo to match. We also have matching yellow gold hands, and there's plenty of luminescence on this dial. We'll do a quick lume shot here. You can see the Chronograph seconds hand in the dark. Now, what else matters? Well, we have this lovely green Ceragold bezel. Ceragold is a bezel that's made of ceramic, so very scratch resistant, but the gold is perma-bonded to it, so it can never separate. We have some vintage elements like the dot over 90, though overall this isn't distinctly a vintage inflected watch. This is a modern Moonwatch with a few nods to antiquity. And every Moonwatch gives a nod to antiquity because it hasn't changed much since the very first generation Speedmaster Professional in the mid-60s. What has changed is on the reverse side. Before we get there, admire the longevity of this case. We have the lyre-style lugs with both the inward bevel and then the outward bevel. Satin finished mid-case, polished on the underside of the bezel. The inner bevels are satinated. We have that thin mid-case profile, and then a shear guard to help protect the chronograph pushers and crown from shearing. Take a quick look at this case back. We have a new era of Moonwatch caliber. Now I'm going to fire this one up because a watch that's not running is a sad watch. a little bit of winding, and caliber 3861 springs to life. So a lot of changes here, still fundamentally based on the Lemania 1873, as these movements have been since 1968 when the first 861 debuted. The 3861 changes a lot. First of all, there's good taste. Although it is a coaxial master chronometer and the first watch worn on the moon, thank God Omega put all that on the back. Speedmaster, professional, Swiss-made. Unlike most Omega watches, the advertisements where you don't have to look at it all the time. But there are some major changes. More power reserve than the old movement by 2 hours. It's now 50 hours manual wind. It's still 21,600 vibrations per hour, but we now have a 26 dual movement instead of the previous 18. We still have a cam lateral clutch system, but the crispness of this cam is second to none, and that includes column wheels. It's really that sharp to the touch. We have a free-sprung architecture for more precise adjustment of the balance and also more shock tolerance. And we now have an anti-magnetic silicon hairspring. In fact, the balance staff, the escapement, the hairspring, all anti-magnetic. So this is a master chronometer, meaning it's anti-magnetic to over 15,000 Gauss, effectively amagnetic. It also meets and exceeds the COSC chronometer standards, not as a bare movement, and not only in 5 positions, but 6 positions as a fully cased-up watch. That's one of the major changes with this new master chronometer Moonwatch caliber. Now, we'll fire it up so you can easily see the Moonwatch now has hacking seconds. So the 3861 introduces hacking seconds to the Moonwatch caliber, previously something not offered. And speaking of things not previously offered, coaxial escapement. And it's the latest coaxial, as designed by George Daniels, adopted by Omega in the late 90s, and then really perfected with the tri-level coaxial architecture in the mid to late 2000s. So this is a durable watch. This is an accurate watch. This is a watch that has what I still believe is the most sophisticated escapement you can buy for under 50,000 US dollars. And all of this water resistant down to 50 meters. And while I personally don't believe a push-down crown with 50 meters is safe for swimming, according to Omega, 50 meters with a push-down crown is safe for swimming with a Moonwatch. That's from them, not from me. You're going to want to put it on some sort of water-resistant strap to test the theory, but so says Omega. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.